What's up, what's up, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Crafting Coaches Corner. It is Jace here with Crafting Coaches Corner. Well, I'm the owner and designer here at the Crafting Coaches Corner, but I am originally the owner of A Touch of Decor, where we make a touch of decor for every door. Hey, moms. How are you guys doing? Hey, Leanne. Hey, Andrea. Kay and Mom. Patty and Mary. Hey, Terry. What's up? Ooh. Bonnie, Brenda. What's up, my friends? Hey, my Rachel. How are you guys? Hey, Teeny, Stephanie, how are y'all doing? Deanna. All right, so I only have an hour tonight, y'all. Hey, Katie. Thank y'all so much, y'all. Today I hit a milestone on my business page. I have been stuck in 17,964 for about a month or two, and today I finally reached 18,000 followers. And I am so excited, y'all. I'm so tickled pink, okay? So tonight we're making a centerpiece. I have several custom orders that I'm working on. So I am actually going to work on getting them out. This is a centerpiece for one of my customers. Just to let you guys know, I do a lot of custom orders. That's what makes my business, A Touch of Decor, is the majority of my custom orders. Thanks. I have fantastic customers that keep me busy all year long. So yeah, I have some custom orders. But before I do that, I want to show y'all something I got from Martha Stewart, aka Miss Lovey, aka Miss Rachel Holmes from Lovey's Flowers, y'all. I want to show y'all what I got from her. This is from Miss Martha Stewart herself. Y'all, look at these cute little rabbit faces I got from Miss Martha Stewart herself. Look how stinking cute they are. Don't y'all think Miss Martha Stewart is phenomenally awesome? Look at it. This is Lovey's Flowers that made these. Look how cute. Hi, I'm a little bunny rabbit. Aren't they stinking adorable? So this is for another custom order that I have. My customer asked for bunny heads as the design. So I ordered 2 from Rachel. And she got them to me in no time, y'all. So if you're looking for handmade wreath attachments or something like that, head on over to Lovey's Flowers on Etsy. And she has stuff like this on there. See, y'all, I ordered 2 of them. So I ordered 2. All right. I want to thank Katie for introducing me. My name is Jace Champagne. I'm the owner and designer at A Touch of Decor, but I'm also one of the 6 coaches on the Crafting Coaches Corner. If you don't know me and you're new here, I am only 24 years old. I have been designing since the age of 14. I started my business back in 2018, and y'all, I'm here now. I have a growing business, just like every coach that is on this page, as a collaborator with me. We have all growing businesses, okay? So, with that being said, let me pull my greens out, y'all. Okay. So, just so you know a little bit about me, okay? I'm a self-taught designer. I taught myself a majority of a lot of stuff. I taught myself over the years of doing it. I try at least everything once. If I don't like it, I stop trying it. Simple as that. So. Are you guys enjoying the marathon this week? Oh, you were glad my pants were pulled up? Well, that might have been the highlight of our life tonight if you would have seen something, okay? It might have brought more people into our life. Just kidding. All right, y'all. So you know I'm going to cover this bad boy with Spanish moss. That's funny. Hey, Casey. So my boss is on here, so I gotta be good, y'all. I'm never good though, but I'm gonna be good. So I'm just Spanish mossing it. So I'm covering up my mechanics. Oh, honey. I don't do that. That's disgusting. I love the little bunny. Yeah. Even though I paid outrageous for her, but I love her. Oh, she will tell you I'm never good. Hey, Miss Sandy, how are you? Y'all, I'm never good. Never. I'm bad. I'm bad all by myself. But please keep my boss and her family in your prayers, y'all. I'm just going to say this. Tomorrow they buried her grandmother. Her grandmother passed this past week, and they're burying her tomorrow. So just keep Miss Casey Harrison and her family in your prayers today and tomorrow, okay? Tonight and tomorrow, as they lay her grandmother to rest, okay? Her grandma had a wonderful life. She lived to 98 years old, guys. 98. I hope to God, I pray to God that I live that long. But if the good Lord needs me before then, the good Lord needs me. But until then, I ain't going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. Y'all stuck with me, okay? All right, y'all. So we did it. We added our green and we added our mosses. You're welcome, Case. Y'all, her and I fight like brother and sister. All right, now we're going to add some height of greenery in here. So we're just going to put a piece of greenery, y'all. Okay? So we're just going to build her up. Y'all, her and I fight like brother and sister. Like we do. And she could tell y'all that. So like Katie was telling y'all the other day on her live when she was making her centerpiece in the trough, that you want to go in triangles. Well, I go in triangles. As you see here, I have my point on my triangle, a point, and then I'm going to put another point in the back, okay? So I'm just making my triangles. And that's what anything you do. Anything you do when you're designing, you want to put in triangles, okay? It's okay if you don't. It's fine. But just make sure you go with triangles in it just to give you some love in there, okay? And also make sure that willow branch is up in there. Make it look like it's part of the design. Make it flowy. Make it look like it's in nature. Make it go whimsical, woozy, la 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 la, okay? How's the view tonight for you guys? Hey. Hey, Lacey. So how's the view for you guys? Okay, good. I want to make sure everything's good. So let's say, yes, it is gaps and cracks foam that I'm using. It's the cheapest styrofoam there is. It's gaps and cracks. So, I love it. I use a lot of it. Let's get our hearts party. All right, y'all. So here we go. We're going to start our triangles, okay? Hey, Miss Kathy Thomas. And make sure when you're adding it in there, you're bending it, giving it life. Just make sure you just giving it some life in there. Don't be stingy with the glue or nothing. Just give it life, okay? Welcome, first timer. Great to have you. So now we're going to do a triangle here. Okay? They're going to see. I'm going to do triangles. I love to do a triangle. It don't matter where it's at. Just make sure it's a triangle. So look, I have a piece here. And I'm going to put a triangle back here. I'm going to make my triangle point come to the back. So I'm going pieces by pieces, okay? So that's what I'm doing. I just like to go piece by piece just to give it that triangle effect. Hey? Let me get my little sign, okay? So now look, I'm going to use this piece as to make another triangle. So here, we're going to put one. So y'all, I'm just using it to make triangles. That's all you're doing is using it to make triangles. So I have a triangle, boom. It has, you'll see it. It just has your triangles. Just don't be afraid to go and make the triangles in there. Okay? And no matter where I place it, it's going to make a triangle, okay? Now that I have my triangles filled in and figured out, it's going to make a triangle, okay? So y'all understand what I'm talking about when I'm making a triangle? Thanks. Katie Stirs, I know you're in here. Do you understand when I talk about making a triangle? Michelle, I know you learned a lot from me too. Okay. We're going to add a little height right into here, y'all. I like to add height because I have a tall bunny. So you don't want to do a sharp design and she gets lost, y'all. So make sure you put some height into her, okay? Make sure you lift her up. I gotta clean all this ribbon up tonight when I'm off. So don't be afraid to get in there and just go and design. So we're gonna put another piece of height right there, okay? And look, I'm still making that triangle. No matter what I'm doing, I'm making that triangle. So even though I'm going a little taller with my grass, I'm still making that triangle, y'all. No matter how I go with it, it's still making a triangle. Even if I just lay this right here coming out like this, it's still making a triangle because it has that point. So don't be afraid to get in there and nitty gritty, okay? All right, just a reminder, up after me is Miss Rachel Holmes with Lovey's Flowers. I don't know what she's doing tonight. She didn't tell none of us in our call today. So we have no idea what she's making. And she might be painting or basket weaving or blowing glass or who knows what she's doing. Who knows what she has up her sleeve, y'all. You never know. Thank you so much for sharing my YouTube, Becky Jones. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would greatly appreciate you doing that, so I can go live on YouTube, y'all. I would love to go live on the YouTube. And also be sure to follow and subscribe to the Crafting Coaches' one as well. Mama Michelle must be protesting me really bad tonight because she's very quiet. Well, that's okay. It's okay to protest me every now and then. So y'all see how I just made a greenery base for my design? Y'all see it? Now we'll go in and add some different greens. Ugh, a hot dog. Yuck. It's disgusting. So now you go in and add a little bit more greenery, okay? And then she has her basket of carrots. So we're going to add some carrots in here tonight. Just to give it some life of carrots. Oh, I burnt the crap out of my finger. Oh, my Redeemer lives. Let all creation testify that this life within me cries, and I know my Redeemer lives. Who taught the sun stand in the morning? Who told the ocean you can hold me close? All right. Tomorrow is Miss Rachel Holmes with Lovey's Flowers. She'll be the designer on the page tomorrow. So be sure to look out for her design. We don't know what she's making until she makes it, y'all. And y'all, it's usually something fabulous. So she is on Thursdays. And then Fridays, this Friday we have our featured designer. But this Friday is Miss Tammy Halls with Flippin' Furniture. She'll be on our page this Friday. And we're so excited about that. We are, extremely excited about that. So stinking excited about that because we love to have different talent on our page, y'all. And then on Saturday is Miss Teeny with the Coastal Style, etc. Anybody has questions, concerns, comments, anything for me? Anything. Not y'all, quiet bunch tonight. Can I get a hearts party? Can I get a hearts party? Hearts party. Yeah, yeah. Can I get a hearts party? Can I get a hearts party? Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Thank you for the hearts. Oh, I'm just watching and learning. Okay. Perfect. And open the camera. Thank you, Miss Brenda. Alright, y'all. So we're going to stop adding greenery until I see if I need more. We'll stop adding greenery. And then, well, let's just put this little piece right in here somewhere. Like that. Okay, there we go. Now we'll add some flowers, y'all. So we're going to add some of these purple tulips that we got from Walmart. Walmart stepped up their game this year on florals, y'all. They have. They have totally stepped up their game. Wouldn't you agree? Hey, Trudy. And y'all, I'm just going to go every so often and add a piece. I'm going to still do my triangle, so I'll put one here, here. So I'm going to make a triangle. Still going to make that triangle concept. So I'm going to put this one down in here. Still making that triangle concept. So as you can see, I made a triangle. So can you see where my next pieces of flowers should go? My next piece of flowers should go here, here, and here. Because I'm filling up those holes. And it's going to, once you start doing it and designing more, you'll learn how to do it. So I put a tall flower here and then some shorter inlay flowers, okay? So let's see what tall flowers we can add. And this bush also comes from Walmart. So we'll just add this beautiful peony in there. So do y'all understand what I was talking about with the triangle, with the flowers just now? Because you'll see how it just lets you place where you need to place. Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? By look, it just fills that hole and it gives dimension, it gives, you know, it gives it life and characteristic. It's not like everything's just thrown in there. Everything's not just thrown into this design right now because it's going into a direction. And then we'll add this other one about right there, okay? So you see how it's done? You have your tall flower. You can learn more tips and tricks like this in my private group. I go into more detail and depth on it in my private group. So, but you could see how I have my triangles just looping in. Now we're going to go in and add some other little filler flowers, okay? So we're going to add some ranunculus. These also come from Walmart. And the same thing, we'll go in that triangle shape again. But we'll go in a bigger triangle like this. We'll go into a bigger triangle, y'all. So we'll put one here, one in here. And then we'll put one here and then one back there. So we'll put one here. So we'll hot glue it in there. Like so. And then once I can come down and add some down here. But you can see it's just giving it texture and life. And this same concept can be done with fresh flowers. And I just felt like showing y'all what you learn in my private group. I'm just giving you a taste of what you learn in my private group, guys. Just a little snippet, tad bit, tasteful stuff that you learn in my private group, which is the champagne game. It's named after my last name. That's why we did it like that. So you can see you have different, all right. Now we're going to go in and add some berries, y'all. I love a good old berry. So I like a good old berry. This here, I just add it. I don't go in that triangle effect. I still just go in and add this. But like I say, I don't go into that triangle effect with this. I'll just go in and add it in places, okay? But I'll spread it out. So I'll put one like right here. But I just don't want to have that hole, so you just spread it out and fill in your hole and your gap. So you see you have your berry. How many of you guys have learned something tonight from just watching me for 24 minutes? How many of you guys have learned something? Let me know. you this. I learned stuff like this from just working in the flower shop, guys. Working in the flower shop, working with fresh flowers. Working with designers that have been in the industry for a long time have taught me things like this. So you just want to know where to go. So, but you can still see, it might not see it as a wide triangle, but I did it as a skinny triangle. You have 1, 1, and 1 as a skinny triangle. So you don't want to just stick stuff anywhere, guys, because it just doesn't go in a formation that you want. You want it to go in a formation. All right, and also, guys, I'm going to do something. I'm going to just throw a little twist in here. It's okay. You can put this in here. I'm just putting 1. Yes, the triangle method works for a lot of things, guys. Even when you're decorating a Christmas tree, a triangle method will work. I'll end up showing y'all how to do that. Here on the page, when I start doing Christmas trees again, y'all, I decorate a lot of Christmas trees. So I'll teach y'all how to do that as well. How to use that concept in decorating Christmas trees. So I added that right there. And look how pretty this is, y'all. You see, it just gives it different styles, textures, formation. It's not just a flat design. It's not just thrown in there. It's actually balanced. So when you want to design it and balance it out because you don't want it to just be thrown in there. A lot of designers you'll see just throw it in there. Just throw whatever they want. No, you have to go actually in there and just balance it out. Balance is the key to your designs. Balance is key to everything. That's just me and how I feel. Now we're going to add some little filler pink flowers in there. Okay. And like I say, I use this same concept when I'm designing fresh flowers. If I'm doing like a cemetery or something piece, you do this same concept. I do have a link to my page. Can somebody grab a link to my private group, please? It's $19.99 a month. You get a live in there often, every Sunday, Monday, and I just, yep. If Becky Jones is here, can you grab a link to my private group? Please. Or somebody can help me out. And I'm going to show you how to also, you can add ribbon to this and make it a statement piece, okay? And if you don't not own a Lazy Susan, I suggest you getting a Lazy Susan. Because a Lazy Susan is your best friend when making centerpieces, okay? A Lazy Susan is your best friend. How long have I been making wreaths? I have been making arrangements since 2018 as a business, but I've been designing since I'm 14 years old. So I've been doing this for quite a long time. For quite some time. But like I tell people, I am just like you guys. I started from the bottom and I moved my way up to the top. So I've started like a little peon just like you. Not just knowing what to do, not having the best designs. Thank you so much, Rachel. Not having the best designs and stuff like that. If you are wanting to join my private group, just grab the link. I'll send you the link to the PayPal. Once I get off the live, if you just private message me on A Touch of Decor, I'll send you the link to the PayPal to where you could pay. But guys, I do ask that you pay the PayPal link because it's just fair. It's all fairness, you know. It's you to do that. So now I'm going to show you how to add some ribbon into this. So last night I used this ribbon in my customer. It's for the same customer's door wreaths that I made during while watching Sonia and Michelle work last night. So I'm going to show you how to add this in here. and not make a big old bow. You don't want a big old bow for something like this because it's going to take away from your design. And you're still going to do that same triangle method, okay? That same old triangle method. You're going to do that in here as well. But I just want a little bitty loop, okay? Just a little itty bitty teeny weeny loop, okay? Teeny weeny loop. And I'm using a tinsel tie. I love a good old tinsel tie. If you don't follow me and you don't know that, I love a good tinsel tie. You can buy them at Hobby Lobby during Christmas, okay? And make sure you incorporate this ribbon in here. Don't just sit it in here. Make sure it looks like it's a part of that design. I hate when, and I'm going to say this is just me as a designer, but I hate when somebody puts ribbon in a design and don't put it to make it look like it's a part of the design. So how I put that in there, I'm not just going to have that loop just sit like that. I'm going to actually intertwine it with my florals and make sure that it looks like it's a part of this design. You just don't want to throw that in there. You know, how many guys have seen somebody just throw ribbon in a design and be like, oh my God, I do the same things with my bows, like when I make a wreath. I make it a part of my design. If I put loops in it, it's a part of my design. I don't just do this throw in there kind of stuff. I don't do that. It's just not, it don't look professional. It don't look put together. It's just not like that, okay? And I'm not talking down or bad about anybody. I'm just teaching you some things because I know a lot of you guys are probably wondering why I do things I'm doing on this live tonight, okay? And I'm just explaining to you why I do what I do. Thanks, Mom. So I like to explain why I do what I do because some people want to know why you do what you do. Does anybody have any questions? I am not afraid to answer any questions. Don't be afraid to ask me any questions, guys. That's why I'm here on this hour, even though it's not my day to teach. I want you to ask me some questions if you have any questions about anything. So now I'm just going to add a piece of tail of ribbon right here, just a little bit, okay? Like I said, make sure that ribbon looks like it's a part of this design. Move it around, pull your greenery around it. How do I decide on the, okay, how do you decide on the size of your flowers? Okay. Okay, so this is what I do. So I look for a main focal flower, which I call a premium flower. This is a premium flower if you would do. In fresh flower, this would be called a premium flower. And a tulip would be called a premium flower and a ranunculus. So I just pick out what I think is going to be the biggest and then I go from there. I don't want to put too many big pieces in here because I didn't have a big enough platform to work on. So that's why I went with the a peony. Then I went with the small tulips, and then when I went with the small ranunculus. That's why I picked out the flowers. And then I went with the small filler with berries and pink filler little leaves. How do you decide what to do on your first live? Well, I'll be honest with you, Miss Carol. It goes to what, this is what I say. When you first go live, do something that you're comfortable with doing, okay? Excuse me, do something that you're comfortable doing because at the end of the day, you are the one having to explain and teach how you're doing it and to keep the attention of your viewers. So make sure it's something that you're comfortable doing and that you know what you're doing right then and there because if not, you'll lose the interest of your audience and that's what you do. So somebody says, what is George Washington's middle name? I don't know. Mom wants to know, how do you know what greeneries go together? I'll be honest with you guys. Any greenery in life goes with each other. And I'm just going to tell you that. If I was doing this and I had evergreen greenery available right now, evergreen greenery would go in here. But I went with most of the springiest greenery because I know what my customer's house looks like. I know the color of her table. I don't want something too dark because she has a dark colored table. I want something very light and airy, so that's why I did that. And y'all, make it springy, make it airy. I love a good old airy greenery. My favorite greenery is this button greenery. It's this button fern. This is a button fern. You can get this from Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby sells it. It's one of my favorites. But I got this from Liberty Floral. But it's one of my favorite greeneries. And then I like to use a different type of fern. This is just a different type of fern. I like variations of greens. I don't like to use just this one greenery. I like to use variations of greenery because that's what makes my design stand out, okay? Different types of greenery is going to make your design stand out. All right? And what is the hardest design I've ever done? Designing on stage at Crafters Convention was my hardest design I've ever done because it was in front of a live studio audience. And y'all, I did not know what the heck I was going to do up there. Because I've never designed in front of somebody. And that was my nervous, and most hardest design I've ever done. But also, funeral flowers for a loved one is my hardest I ever designed too. So, those are the hardest things to design is funeral flowers. But it's so rewarding in the end. So you see, I just added 1, 2, 3 loops in there. I did 3 loops in there and 3 tails. 3 sets of tails, okay? So that's how you add ribbon in there. Don't put a bow on this. Okay, would you use ribbon tails when you're using fresh flowers? Depending on what it is. If it's a standing spray and I need to use up a large area, like if I need to take up a large area in a design, I'll use a big bow. I'll use a big bow with some streamers, but I could also tell you that in designing fresh, we use a lot of loops. We use a lot of loops and stuff. I love a good old loop. Loops are in. I don't like to use a lot of ribbon, so that's why I don't do it. My base for this design is a wooden board that I got from from Walmart. Just get in there and do it. You might have to rip it out a few times till you like it. But just get in there and do it. And Andrea, just get in there and do it. Don't be afraid if it looks ugly. Don't be afraid if you might not like it at first. But just keep on making it until you like it, okay? Just keep on making it. So now I'm going to add some carrots in here. And I'll make this look like it's coming out of here, okay? Oh, you're welcome. Okay. So, like, if you've never seen me make a wreath, unless I'm making a mesh wreath. Yep, it's always your best work. Fresh flowers is always your best work when it comes to a funeral. Funeral piece because it's the last thing that the family gets to send to their loved one. It absolutely is. And it's the most rewarding thing, y'all. If you've never worked with fresh flowers and did something for a funeral, it's the most rewarding thing there is out there. It is. So look at it. Look how cool this looks, y'all. Look. I have every element that I had in my other design. I have my greenery. I have flowers. I have carrots. I have a rabbit. I just made it spectacular. You're welcome. So if you've never seen me make a wreath before, guys, I always do this with my wreaths too. Like if I'm making a grapevine wreath, I don't always put a big bow. And if Michelle, Katie, Rachel, or Teeny's on here, they'll tell you, excuse me, I don't like to use a whole bow in a design because I do have a lot of fairly expensive ribbon and I don't want to have to put that price into the cost of my design. So this is what we do. We just put loops in there and it actually knocks the cost of your design down. Because if you do, let's say, a bow with $54 ribbon and you use however many yards, you divide that by how many yardage and you might get about a $20 to $25 bow, and you're gonna, it's gonna be expensive, and that's a part of your price. If you just do loops and tails, it just does the same thing, and you could do it different. It makes it look beautiful. I love a loop and a tail and a wreath more than I do a bow nowadays. Bows I usually use on mesh wreaths. Unless a customer asks me for a bow, I put a bow. Don't be afraid to try that triangle method. Do not be afraid to do that triangle method. Also, remember when you're designing to use 1s, 3s, 5s, 7s, 9s, 11s, 13s, 15s, odd numbers when you're designing. How am I putting picks on those ribbons? Okay, let me find my piece of thing. Okay, so Miss Debbie, I take this stuff. It's called tinsel rope. It's tinsel rope. Looks like a Christmas tree branch. I wrap it around my ribbon. And I take my steel pick machine, which is right here. I'm going to show you. And look. I still pick it. And that's how I can stick in my styrofoam. Put a little hot glue on it and that bad boy ain't coming out, okay? So if you stick with me and hang out with me and you really listen to what I teach on my lives or what I do on my lives, you'll learn a lot of tips and tricks on how to design these things. Because there's a lot of mechanics that go into designing and you don't want your customers to come back to you and say you're... Excuse me, I need some drink. That your mechanics suck. Because like right now, I could throw this across the room and I bet you nothing would fall out of here. Make sure you hot glue everything. Make sure you put if you need to use a floral pin, use a floral pin. Make sure you're covering your styrofoam to where you don't see none of that janky old styrofoam. Moss it up. Make sure that all your flowers and everything are glued in. Make sure that your attachment of whatever kind you're using is glued in there. Make sure that is in there properly. Just make sure everything is, properly done. Because you don't want your customer to say, oh my God, I see all his glue. I see his attachment mechanisms. I see, oh my God. And don't do what I just did. Oh my God. There we go. Fixed it. Had a piece of moss on it. So don't be afraid to just get there. Mechanics is the key of everything. Any more questions, concerns, comments? Y'all, I have a lot of time. I could chit chat with you guys. I could teach y'all some things. I could tell y'all some things. Y'all, this brain of mine, for only being 24 years old, knows a lot about designing. Michelle, I wish I could take that bunny back, but it's hot glued on there now, baby. This arrangement is for a custom order. So this is already sold, y'all. I do a lot of custom work, so this is a custom order. But more arrangements like this are coming to my Etsy shop, I promise you. Thank you, Sandy. Michelle, do you have any questions for me? Katie, Rachel, any of you lovely folks have any questions for me? Y'all, look how... Oh, I'm fluffy. It's called a steel pick machine. It's called a steel pick machine, guys. It is a steel pick machine. You can buy them at Hobby Lobby. Yes, Jean. Thank you so much. There is a lot to learn. There's all kinds of stuff to learn. I can even teach you how to make a cemetery arrangement in silk, too, if I need to. So look at it, y'all. Look all the way around. You don't see no holes. You don't see no gaps. You don't see nothing. Rachel, are you here? All right, Miss Debbie, just message me. We'll, just message me and we'll get you into the group, okay? There's a lot of things we learn in that group, okay? How I attached my my bunny here, I just hot glued her feet to the board. That's all I did. When am I making wreaths with these? I am going to probably make these tomorrow night. While Rachel's live, I'll probably make these tomorrow night watching her. While watching her, I'll probably make these off of a live. Unless y'all want to see me make these on a live, and then we'll make them. So. But did y'all, okay, I also want to tell y'all how did I come up with my color scheme. The way I come up with my color scheme is, you see how this rabbit here is wearing a gingham shirt with a pink bow? Well, I wanted stuff that's going to complement her. I'm not going to put yellow with this. I'm not going to do something like that. She's so soft and subtle. Her outfit is soft and subtle. So why would I put why would I put something bright and over the top and cheerful? I want something soft and very subtle with her. That's why I went with the soft tones. The lighter hues from the like pinks and stuff like that. Okay, I'll make them on a wreath. What size board is this? Hold on, let me tell you. It's about a 12-inch board, guys. The board I use is about 12 inches. Okay, so let me tell you something. Some things in the fresh flower shop you do pick. Some things you do pick, but some things you don't pick. Because if you pick something in the fresh flower shop, once you cut your, let's say, I'm going to just show y'all examples. Let me get a flower. Okay, so say this is my stem of my fresh flower. Once you cut that bottom stem right here, once you cut this here, I'm going to just say I'm using my floral cutters. Once you cut this right here, you're allowing and opening the pores of the flower to drink again. So once you stick it into that wet oasis, you're allowing it to drink the water out of the oasis. That's what keeps your flowers fresh when you have it in fresh foam. If not, you just put it in a vase of water and it allows it to drink. That's why they tell you when you get a fresh flower arrangement, every so often take it out of your vase and snip your stems again at an angle about this much every so many days. Once you change the water out, it's because it allows the water to get back into that stem of that flower. Because every so often the flower seals its pore to allow it to drink. So you have to do that, because if not, it won't allow the flowers to drink. And that's when your flowers start to go like this. Droop down and start wilting and dying. So that is a little tip and trick about that as well. Fresh flowers actually last longer in a oasis, which is wet foam, rather than they do on a in a vase. So maybe one day when I'm at the flower shop and Miss Casey's there, I'll get her to allow me to do a live after hours showing you how to do fresh flowers, because fresh flowers is a whole different ball game than silk flowers. I promise y'all, fresh flowers is a whole different ball game than silk flowers. They're more delicate and you have to do different preparations. So how many of you guys would like to see me do a fresh arrangement? Me or Rachel could do a fresh arrangement. How many of you guys would like to see a fresh flower arrangement done? Mom says she would like to. Miss Debbie. Miss Leanne. Miss Wanda. Miss Gail. Tracy. Miss Janice. Miss Brenda. Miss Patty. Miss Joy. Miss Renee. All right, so maybe Monday for my live, this coming Monday, we may get some fresh flowers from the flower shop and we may make an arrangement. Just a simple maybe a dozen of roses so I can show you how to do a dozen of roses. Or maybe even do a simple bubble bowl, or maybe just a design with flowers, you know, just something. All right, guys, well, I'm going to get out of here 10 minutes early to let Miss Rachel Holmes come on and jump on in so we can get this party slowly wrapped up because, you know, it's usually late for people watching designs. So we're going to get this party wrapped up. So head on over to Lovey's Flowers, hang out with her, get inspired, created, and motivated by her. And until then, I'll see you guys here Monday, guys. Bye.